Hey everyone, GeForce41 here with another PGA Tour 2K23 casual preview. This week we're going to Hollandse G&C Country Club, the tour version. Crowds, of course. It's the casuals, folks. We do T-Ready. So this is another gem by DR Golf Design. Daniel has done an outstanding job with this one. We've used Vicodin in the past. I played this one last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I actually have been meaning to play it for a little bit longer than that. It's absolutely outstanding. It fits right into the casuals mode, so to speak. It's slightly challenging, but very, very playable. So it's casual friendly, as we like to say. It's tournament ready. It's an instant big weekender. I hope you enjoy it. The course is set in Holland, of course, so water comes into play in basically all the holes. We'll talk a little bit about the course more as we go. And we're going to play this from the back tees. The wind is medium. Stronger winds are suggested by the designer. So we're going to do that. We're going northeast, and we're going to do hole location 4 for a change, just for fun. Let's get right to the golf. All right, look at the beautiful setting. Great BTs to start. So yeah, this is a Riverside course from the DR Golf Design right up in the lower parts of the Netherlands. Exposed greens and fairways surrounded by the native Dutch foliage. Great stuff. Look at the extras he's put in there right off the tee. The clock, the flowers, excellent. So we get right into the tournament atmosphere, which we love. So just for reminders, for the casuals, we have a history of T-Ready, meaning tournament-ready courses. We've moved that to the big weekender must always be T-Ready. During the week, we will use some courses that are perhaps not T-Ready, but always T-Ready preferred. So look at this. The water definitely comes right into play. I'm looking at the two different fairways here. Not going to deal with that second fairway, although that might not be the worst idea I've ever had. With that whole location. But the wind's right in our face. This does not look reachable from the looks of it with that water, because you're probably not going to be able to run it up. I'm not super long, as you see. I have about 292 carry off the tee with the driver. And that's going to go 306. I'm going to be able to do this. Yeah, I knew it. I'm going to come up just short. So, cleverly designed. Just short. So I'm not going to really even mess with that. You can shoot one right up the neck there, but with the wind in my face, I'm going to think better of that and lay it up. Let's see. Lay it up to about 85. You know, I'd have to I'll just throw out this little 5-iron here. You don't want to get too greedy. You don't want too short of a shot. Full sand wedge is going to be 78. Do this, I'm going to give it a little loft. So it sits right down. Still won't be a little much. Not bad. I like the textures a lot. Very kind of relaxing feel to it. The trees look excellent. So we'll point out some design-related items. So that's usually what you get here on the casual preview. A look at the course that's upcoming and some design text. Daniel's an excellent designer, so I'm not going to be critiquing too much. More along the lines of pointing things out. If I see something, we'll point it out. But you know, it depends on the course that we're reviewing for the week. Hope to do more of these. I've done some design tip videos. Hope you've liked those. If you're interested in hearing about a certain topic, drop me a line. I think one of the next things I'll do, I might do a quick one on entrances to greens. I might actually even follow up on the green series and making the greens look natural series, as I'm doing a few greens again on my own. So we'll do that in the coming weeks. Okay, so everything's kind of right along this river. There's lots of water throughout the course. So far the greens are pretty generous. not too sloped or elevated as you would expect. These are lowlands, right? You're down by the river. So if you follow my videos, making your greens look natural, um, you know, making your planting look natural, all that kind of stuff, right? I'm throwing at you. Does it fit in the landscape and where you think you're at? And this one's knocked out of the park, of course. It's fits right in. Looks like it belongs. Like this course has been there a long time, which is just a great accomplishment if you're a designer to pull off. So some great crowds, tents, signage, all that fun stuff. I do like doing courses like that. Haven't done one in a while like that. Long 3. Again, still a fairly generous green. And a fairly flat. Oh, only 3 inches, 3 feet in elevation change. Sizable bunkers around it. The bunkering is nice. Little fall off in the back. Yes, greens do slope off in the back most of the time. It's called physics, people. And gravity. I think I went through that before, right? In the old days, it was called a back slipper. Fairly simple stuff. Look at that planting right there. It's very, very organic, I think is the word Chelsea uses. Alright, so a little bit of a almost Donald Rossi kind of heroic carry with some cross bunkers here. So I don't know if this is it's going for a narrows concept or the heroic thing here. I've got that wind in my face. There's no elevation change. See, look how flat that is. 1 foot. Look at that location right up front. So I'm just going to go here and not try to kill it. Let up on the stick a little bit there. 97 power. Exactly. So that grass looks just a little tall. I know you have to make it tall so you can see it off the tee. But what happens is when you have people next to it, it tends to look a little silly. So am I being a little picky here? Yeah, but I've pointed that out in videos before that when you put that grass next to the fairway and then you put spectators there, look, you've got grass that's like shoulder length, like 5 feet high. So, meh, you know. But I know why the designer's doing that. Just pointing it out to you all. It's a helpful tip. You just gotta be careful of that. You don't want it to look too crazy. I'm just very attuned to picking that up because when I design my own courses, I'm always critiquing them as I'm testing them. So. There we go. Birdie on the board. 4th hole. Alright, nice little bridge. Again, going across the water. But I like the planting a lot. It's just very simple, elegant, and like we said before, organic and natural. Good choice of bridge right there. Fits right in. The lighting is neutral. Maybe that's a video I should do. A little bit more on lighting. But you'll notice it's overcast. Well, you still do have a shadow. You can see the shadow there. It's not as pronounced, right? A lot of folks rely on that low lighting, kind of use it as a crutch to make their course look nice. I've used the low lighting in the past, certainly. But I've also used the neutral lighting. So when you're doing an overcast like this, folks, look at that bridge over there. Unbelievable. You got to make sure you don't use the low light, a late in the day or early in the morning time, or an inclination that's too low, because it's going to be too dark. And a lot of people make that mistake, and it's, you know, kind of turn on the lights time. You have to make it around midday, somewhere between 10 and 2, I would say, if you're going to use this overcast sky, as you can see right there. I'll just leave it here for a second so you can take a look. You do not want to go late in the day, early in the day, and go overcast. So that's how you get the neutral lighting. So you notice the shadow is not very long. right? So watch some of these courses. You'll see with the low light, the shadows are excruciatingly long. Okay, and that impacts your trees, and your tree lines, and the shadows, and the greens, and all that stuff. So this has a couple of effects to it. And another nice bridge in the BT there. It not only does the neutral light kind of keep the course giving it one look and feel, right? Because the low light gives you that, most people like the light down light, so to speak, or looking into the light. And the light behind you kind of, I should say that's up light. The down light tends to be the opposite. It washes things out. It looks too bright, and you don't get the contours and things like that. The new game, it's a little different. I've heard some people talk about the opposite, that they like it the exact opposite of the new game. I don't know about that. I still think it's the same. Into the light is a little brighter, though. In this game, we've talked about that before. Regardless, it kind of keeps it neutral, and in each shot and each hole has the same type of lighting. So that's a help to some, but then some people like that low lighting, and you're not going to get that if you go neutral. Maybe I don't need a video. Oh, there you go. Chipping. The crowds. One of the things about the crowds, it's hard to figure out where to put them. Unless you really thought about that before. So, there's some clever places for the crowds here. You just saw one there. Another par 3. Again, long 3, 200 yards, over water. Huge bunker to the right. Big gallery watching. And you'll see the tee box is right next to it. So he's really routed this course beautifully as well. Very nicely done. Very realistic and believable. Of course, this type of hole, if I was playing it for real, would make me panic. With the huge bunker and the water, I would definitely be bailing out to the right. 202 yards. It would be a hybrid for me. 3 hybrid. I've done a pretty good job of taking left out of the equation these days. But I still do kind of stop and let the hands take over on top occasion. Pull one badly left, but the way I'm swinging or trying to swing is designed to take left out of the equation. And not that I'm that good of a mid-handicap, but that is by design by a very, very good coach whose daughter plays on the LPGA Tour, so I'm learning to swing correctly. And left is bad. If it's left, you have totally broken down. Your swing is a complete mess. Right is okay. A couple of things could be wrong. Could just be timing. But I'm learning to get into a good position. Come at it from the inside. And throw those hands out over the top. Take the arms and the hands out of it and use your rotation in your legs to generate power. Sounds simple, right? Kind of is, actually. That's the scary thing. Just doing it is not that easy after doing it wrong for 20 or 30 years. So some simple slopes here. Nice green here. Again, I'm not trying to overly tout my own videos, but again, the greens and the natural slope here, perfect, right? Just as you expect. There's the water. Where do you think this is going? Now, there's a lot of water all over this course, so you can say, oh, geez, which way is the water going? But here, this is set right in, and it's gently sloping down to the water, just as what you would expect, right? Nothing too crazy. And there's a little hump here, and so, yeah, is it going all one way? No, and I've said that before. Not everything has to go that way, but the general slope of this is down to the water. Simple stuff, effective. Makes your course look and play great, and I totally whiffed on it. And I put one into the water. Shocking. No good. And he's going to take a double. Back to 1 under. One under after 9. Off to 10. Rather simple for, look at that location. Ooh, that one's tucked kind of tight, isn't it? $113. We're gonna go with that. A little bit of spin. And come on back a little. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, put one in, make up for that down. There you go. At least get one back. Good stuff. So hope you're enjoying this so far. I just think you can see just from these 10 holes, it's very, I want to say simple design. It's not simple, but casual friendly, right? It's challenging because of the water, but it's not too challenging. It's not a ton of elevation changes. The fairways are appropriately proportioned. They're plenty wide, plenty of room. They're not huge, not super wide. Wish they were a little wider. Plenty of room on the greens. Decent bunkering, right? They're not huge. Some of them are big. They're not overly obtrusive, so to speak. There's not a ton of them. So I think you folks, the casuals, will like this. Very interesting green. This one's got a little bit more contours than the previous greens. You gotta get that off to the right, and then hopefully it'll come back. Not bad. Tap and par. Okay. Now we got a short 3. And of course, he utilizes the water beautifully. Very short, a whole narrow green. That isn't a tricky little spot. Obviously, we want to use that slope if we can. We've got 4 miles an hour in to our face. Just going to about 8 o'clock. I'm just going to get this down here. A little bit. That might be good. Might have pushed it a little, but that should sneak in the corner. Oh, if I had hit it, that was probably mine. Okay. Just one bunker out there, perfectly placed. You can kind of cut around these trees a little bit. I'm going to cut this just a little. That is going to be perfecto. And it's got a downhill slope. I might actually go back a club with the wind behind me. Let's see what happens here. Just push that. Yep, it's going to take it to the back. Got a little cityscape behind the course. Of course, I have not done much with cityscapes. In the past. Did a little town for Carthwick. Wanted to do more. Didn't have the resources, folks, right? You only got so much meter. Alright, I kind of whiffed on that one, too. Now I got another 214 yard, another 200 plus yard par 3. So these par 3s are pretty long ones. 3 of them over 200 yards, one short one. Now you see the challenge here a little bit with putting crowds and tournament crowds. Where are you going to put the crowd here? Great hole. There's really no crowd here. There's a few people on each side, right? So that's one of the only things about making tee-ready courses. You might have a hole where you don't have anywhere to put the crowds. I don't mind at all, but I'm just saying that does happen. So if it's an actual tournament, this would be pretty hard to pull off because you'd have nobody on the 14th hole watching. Unless they let you out in boats. It's not a bad idea. It'd be like, you know, the San Francisco Giants, right? The Bay. Everybody just hang out on your boat. Cool, hold on. Alright, another 5. So again, we've got the kind of truncated fairway here. Let's take a look at this green. This guy's off on the right. We're going to hit a little bit of a cut. A little bit of a tricky shot because you run out of fairway from too far right. And it kicks you that way. But look at that. Threw it in there perfect. 245 with a little wind. A little upslope to help. That didn't sound good. It's a perfect though. That sounded weird. This one we will chip. And there you go. Another birdie. So we've had an eagle, a double, couple birdies. Been on the bogey train a little bit. We want to give this enough. Gonna give it a little loft, little spin. Medium length, par 3. Right behind that pin. Dead center. Another burner, I'll take that. So yeah, there's 3 threes on the back. $17. The old fairway split decision. We can't do it. You can definitely, if you're a bigger hitter and you had the wind, or a bigger hitter and kind of had a crosswind. For me, I don't think I'm gonna try it. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna take it easy here with the driver. Oh, and I pulled it. Look out, folks. Alright, so that's not going to be a good shot to try to pull off. Let's see what the 5-iron does. Tricky little shot there. I did give it enough. But that's what I figured. I'd wind up in the bunker or the rough. For the Vogue. Oh no. Another double. Not good, folks. Alright, par 5 to end with. So do we start on a 5? Let's take a look at the scorecard real quick. Yeah, so we started on a 5, ended on 5. That's interesting. And we had 3. Yeah, So 3 par 3s in the back. So it's a par 71 because of the 3 par 3s. Interesting. But I like it. Didn't notice that the first time I played. But that's a little bit of an arrows right there. Just play it off that bunker with a little draw. Should be good. Talking it over with the caddy because we don't want to end on a bad note. But nice clubhouse. Check this out. So you got some folks hanging out there. Look at that. I'm going to take a closer look. Pretty cool. So he's got that stand right down there. But oh wow, that's a lot of woodwork. Eesh. That probably took a lot of time. Oh my goodness. Gotta lay all those planks down. Oh god. Yeah, interesting stuff. So if you if you've never done a retaining wall, you know, you basically, it looks like that's retaining wall. Is that all retaining wall? Or are those steps? I think it's no, it's retaining wall and then steps. Regardless, that is a lot of work. Oh boy. My brain hurts just thinking of all of all that time you'd have to spend doing that. We're gonna run this one in here. We're gonna go a little lower. Let the winds take it in. Hopefully this will run down towards the hole a little. Great planting. Look at that planting. Pretty course, huh? And there you've got the crowd looking over. So look at that's an excellent crowd. Like I said, it's hard to get them in spaces. You got to be a little creative, and he was very creative there. Pace was way off, but we're going to come back with the birdie putt. So he ends on a bird. Great finishing hole. Great work with the crowds. Excellent planning. Very fun and playable. Hope you agree. We will see you out on the casuals. This is Big Weekender next week. I forget, we're in week 4 now, right? So I think it's week 5. I'll put a graphic up if I've totally messed that up. But great job, Daniel, as always. Absolutely fun and very playable course. So get on out there, enjoy it, and see you on the casuals. We'll talk soon. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Great weekend, everybody.